Today we celebrate Saint Rita of Cascia, who the late John Paul II, Saint John Paul II, called a disciple of the crucified one and an expert in suffering. Known in Spain as the saint of the impossible, she has become an immensely popular saint throughout the centuries, and is invoked by people in all situations and stations of life, since she had embraced suffering with charity and wrongs with forgiveness in the many trials she experienced in her life, as a wife, widow, a mother surviving the death of her children, and a nun. She was born not too far from Assisi in Umbria, married at the age of 12 to a violent, intemperate husband. He was murdered 18 years later, and she forgave his murderers, praying that her twin sons, who had sworn to avenge their father's death, may also forgive. She was granted this grace, and her sons, who died young, died reconciled to God. She heard the call to become a nun in the Augustinian convent at Cascia, but was refused entry at first. She asked the intercession of Saints Augustine, Mary Magdalene, and John the Baptist, and finally was allowed to enter the convent, where she lived the last 40 years of her life in prayer, mortification, and service. For the last 15 years of her life, she received a stigmata-like thorn wound in answer to her prayers to be more profoundly conformed to the passion of Jesus. She was bedridden for the last 4 years of her life, consuming almost nothing except for the Eucharist, and died at the age of 70 due to tuberculosis. On the 100th anniversary of her canonization in the year 2000, Pope JP2 the Saint noted her remarkable qualities as a Christian woman. Rita interpreted well the feminine genius by living it intensely in both physical and spiritual motherhood. She was canonized in 1900 by Pope Leo XIII and is a patron saint of impossible causes, sterility, abuse victims, loneliness, marriage difficulties, parenthood, widows, the sick, bodily ills, and wounds. So guess what? We should pray to Saint Rita, because we all need help. God bless you.